This is Pat Walker, Mission Winners, doing a video overview of the ETFs. Industry strength leads to individual stock strength, and individual stock strength leads to industry strength. We want to look for strength, areas where we could possibly put money to make money. Strength begets strength, weakness begets weakness. So we're looking for strength. Going through the industry ETFs tells us where there's strength in an industry that we could use to either buy the ETF or individual stocks in that ETF industry. It's systematized and it works. Biotechnology's hanging in here, not too bad. Okay, pushed above the moving averages. Maybe it'll form a handle here and lift off. Not a bad place to look. Cloud computing, in 1 second, stay away. It's below the 200-day, the falling 50-day. There's nothing there. Stay away from cloud computing. Done. Electric vehicles, lagging, stay away. Nothing to do with it. Dow Jones Internet, look at this. Stay away from Internet. Be careful. IBD 50, this is a great proxy for the leading stocks. There's still not a lot of power in this, folks. It's indicative of how poor the market is. Be careful. Gold miners picking up a little bit, but tons of overhead here. But it had a good day Friday. See that? There's a little bit of a base here. Maybe looking into some gold miners. There we go. Gold, on the other hand, this one's also picking up a little bit. Tons of overhead here, though, folks. Be careful with that. There's not a lot of power. Another biotechnology ETF. Compare and contrast. Look at this one. Look at this versus that. What looks a little bit better? Biotechnology. Online retail, lagging. Leave it alone. Oil and gas exploration. Look at this nice trend. That looks pretty good. I just showed you a bunch that look pretty crummy. This doesn't look bad. Yes, and what are we heavy in? We are heavy in oil and gas exploration and energy stocks. Heavy, including ETFs. You'll see what I mean in just a minute. In 1 second, literally 1 second, what does this say? Stay away from software. Done. Don't overthink it. It looks awful. Leave it alone. Strength begets strength. Leave it alone. Here we go. Medicine, it's chopping around. No real leadership there. Mid cap, it's basing here a little bit. Approaching the 200-day, maybe it'll start to lift through those tops. Maybe mid cap's going to start to improve a little bit more. Something to chew on. Home construction, lagging. Leave it alone. S&P 500 growth, lagging. Be careful with that, folks. It's below all the moving averages. Leave it alone. Russell 2000, lagging. I'd leave it alone. Airlines, that's picking up a little bit. Maybe it'll go through these tops. If it does, that could be a potential buy, but it's still below the falling 200-day. Okay? Be aware of that. Regional banking, yeah, maybe, but not a lot of power. It's below the falling 200-day. There's a lot of distribution in there. Look at all the red bars, red volume bars. Be careful. Mid-cap, okay, mid-cap. Maybe it'll push through these tops. That would be good to see. Push through tops and also push through the 200-day. Mid-cap's improving a little bit, but still not great, okay? Oil services, look at that. Look at this. We own this. Look at the base. I just showed you a bunch of ETFs that look like junk. That doesn't look too bad. See why we bought this? Look at the volume pickup. It's working. I'm not saying buy it now, but what did it cause us to do? We scan the ETFs every day. We saw this one was acting good. We said, a bunch of them look like dirt. This one didn't look too bad. So, yeah, we bought it. There you go. Nothing fancy there. Light sweet crude picking up a little bit, but it is awfully gappy in here, okay? Be careful. There's other ETFs that look better, but good volume pickup there on Friday, something to consider. Does trade a little thin, though. Be aware of that, okay? Energy related. Retail. They ain't buying it. Look at the trend. The trend is down. It's below all the falling moving averages. On a very serious note, what's it saying to us? It's telling us, hey, retail's no good right now. Leave it alone. Done. That's power for us. Pharmaceuticals picking up a little bit, but it needs to show more life, okay? Has little tops right here, and I'll draw it for you. Just basing here, maybe it'll take out these tops, but it's still below the 200-day, so be careful with that. QLD, this isn't so good, folks. I mean, this is the NASDAQ 100. This looks bad. Has a higher low maybe, but the trend is down. Be careful with that, all right? It's below the falling 200-day, the falling 50-day. And this is a great proxy of the big growth leaders of the market, the MAXLIST stocks. And what's it telling you? They ain't doing so good. It'll change eventually, though. Same thing's true with QQQ, which is the non-leveraged one, all right? Retail, lagging, not much power there, all right? Cloud computing, stay away. I mean, folks, it's in a downtrend. It's falling on increasing volume. Leave it alone. That's simple. By the way, think about this. There's tremendous power in what we're doing here. It's telling us areas to look into, but it's also telling us areas to stay away from. That's power. Silver's picking up a little bit. A little gappy in here, though. Be careful with that. But it is showing some life. Look at the good volume there. Silver, okay, something to remember. Steel, silver, steel, metals. That's picking up. Look at this, approaching hitting the 200-day on a pickup in volume. So what do we do with this? We could look at the steel ETF. We could also look at some leading steel stocks, the ones near 52-week highs. There might be a setup there. That's systematizing, and it works. Semiconductors lagging here a bit, not a lot of power. Stay away from semis. S&P 500, this fell on heavy volume, picking up a little bit, but there's not a lot of power here. Maybe a higher low, but it really needs to show some life over the highs in here. Okay, so be careful with that. That's the leveraged one, the same situation. Solar, lagging, be careful with that. Small caps, lagging, not a lot of power there, I'd be careful. Uranium, that's not doing so much, is it? Okay, even with put a Geiger counter on it, it's not going to click much. A little bit of dad humor for us. Oil's kind of hanging in there, isn't it? That doesn't look too bad. And think about this. Remember we talked about the energy ETFs? There's oil not acting bad. Here we go. The dollar's just chopping around. Okay, I mean, it goes up, takes it back down. It's trending up a little bit, but you know, I mean, look at this. Look at how it closes on Thursday. Oh, that's pretty good on a pickup in volume. They just slam it again on Friday. Be careful with that. Aerospace and defense picking up a little bit, but it needs to get through these tops here and through the 200-day. And also note, there's just not a lot of volume power there. So be careful. Biotechnology, another biotechnology ETF. What's it tell you? Stay away. Done. That's simple. Home builders. In 1 second, you look at it and say, I'm not going to buy any home building stocks. I'm not going to look at any home building stocks. Good. There's tremendous power in knowing what to look for, areas to concentrate on or look at, and areas to not look at. That's using our time wisely. I love that. Materials picking up a little bit, but still not a lot of power there. Okay. Energy. Oh, look at that. That's another one. And we own this. Look at the break here. I just showed you about 30 ETFs that don't look good. Look at the lift. That's why we own it. Financials, it's pretty choppy here. I'd be careful with that. Industrials picking up a little bit over the 200-day. Needs to get above these tops right here with volume. But industrials are picking up. That's good to see. Technology, look at this. Lagging. Stay away. That's it. Until this really starts to lift, be careful with technology. That's power. Consumer staples picking up a little bit, but it's still below the 200-day. Needs to get above here with some power. And the 200-day lags. So, there's resistance. Utilities picking up a bit, but not a lot of leadership there. Healthcare, it's okay. It's okay. But they need some power above these tops. Be careful with that. Consumer discretionary. What does this tell you? Stay away. I mean, folks, look at this one, okay, and what this is doing and say, yeah, the discretionary spending in the consumers, I think I'm going to stay away from this ETF, but also the consumer ain't buying, okay, and it's shown here. You look at this and say, there's no setup here, okay, and then compare and contrast it with this, going, oh, look at the difference, look at the base. And I'm going to do something for you. This is really important. You're important to me. You can say, oh, there's a base there. Everything else is looking pretty ragged. Gosh, I guess if it takes out that top, that'd be pretty good. Oh, gee whiz, I guess they did. You see the difference? There you go. Financials, I think we did. Industrials, yeah, picking up a little bit. Technology lagging, and consumer staples. And utilities lagging, not much to do with it. Healthcare sector showing a little bit of life. A little bit of life. Needs to get back above the 200-day and maybe take out that line, okay? But not much there. Consumer discretionary, we just covered that already. Metals and mining, sorry if I'm repeating myself. I just want to be thorough here. Metals and mining rallies right up to the 200-day and falls. Stay away from metals and mining. Oil and gas exploration. This one doesn't look too bad either. You can see these tops across here. We have other ones that are working. Perhaps. There you go. See, compare and contrast the setup. Consumer staples, so-so. Utilities, lagging. Healthcare needs to go above these tops. Some serious selling rate. Consumer discretionary, as I said, this is bad. Stay away from it. Metals and mining, going back here to review, doesn't look too bad. See the compare and contrast? There we go. Oil, just went through and saw it already. Retail lagging, be careful. Software. This is why we do this. In 1 second, it says, I ain't buying any software stocks. There you go. I'm going to stay away from them. Much of good investing is, this is what I need to look for. Much of good investing is, this is what I need to avoid. That's power for you. Stay away from software. There we go. And back to the top. Now let's look at the max list. Here we go. Apple, in literally 1 second, it tells you, stay away. There's nothing to do with it. Falling on a heavy volume. Eventually it will turn. And when it does, it'll be great. You can say, yeah, there's nothing here, you know. But why are we always prepared? Because there was a higher low here back in July, and there were buys here, and that was a huge run, huge run. That's why we do this. We're always prepared. It's a business, and we run it like one. Right now, there's nothing great with it. Amazon, nothing good here. Leave it alone for now. But someday it will turn. But for right now, there's power in knowing to stay away from it. That's okay. Falling on heavy volume, leave it alone. Alibaba put in a higher low, okay, and shows a little bit of life. Ton of overhead supply here, though, folks. I mean, it's below the falling 200-day, the falling 50-day, below the falling 21-day. Decent volume here. Perhaps if it took out the highs here, could be a potential buy. But it's pretty rough. I mean, there is a lot of overhead supply in that, okay? Be aware of that. BIDU, higher low setup, some lift, similar to Alibaba, but ton of overhead supply, not the best high probability setup. Google, this is why we do this. It tells us, stay away from Google. There's power in knowing that. Now, someday it's going to turn, okay? I guarantee it, it's going to turn, and we'll be ready. But right now, there's just not much there. Leave it alone. Continue onwards. Goldman Sachs is showing a little bit of life, has some tops up here. You want to see something interesting? See the high on this bar is 357.44. The high on this bar is 358.62. I'll draw this for you so you can see. Charts are a reflection of human emotions, and it's all reflected in the chart. Look at that. Rallies up and then drops. Comes right back up near that old high. People that bought it here and said, that baby's going right back up to where it dropped before. I think I'm going to sell. There's group number one. This is a great lesson, folks. Charts are a reflection of human emotions and psychology. There were people that bought this here and drop it all the way down to here, and it comes back up near their price, and they go, thank heaven, Ethel, we can sell. Thank heaven, George, we can sell. And they sell. You can put other names in there too if you want. But anyway, rallies right up, takes it right back off. What could this do? It would be very constructive if it could form a little handle here, and I'll draw this for you. Form a little handle here, and then you've got yourself a big cup and a handle. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you could see where it could. So something worth watching. Right now, not too much there. Continue onwards. Meta. Nope. Move on. Microsoft. Nope. Move on. Nothing there. Leave it alone. Netflix. This was good for us. Pick up right in here. Great rally. Sells into strength. Starts to fall. Sold some on the way up. Starts to fall. Sold it. Took the money and ran. In great shape. Everything's fine. NVDA. Now this one's showing a little bit of life too. Look at that. I just showed you some MAXLIST stocks that don't look very good. Here's one. It doesn't look. I'm going to see it across these tops right here. Very bad. Now what does it need? This is a great lesson for everybody. It needs, you see this bar right here? It rallies up and reverses down on a pickup in volume. It needs to, there's sellers up there. It needs to take out that line or those tops, and it needs to do it on really heavy volume in a good market. But it had a decent day Friday. You see this? Overall, though, I need to share this with everybody. The market's in a rough spot. I'm going to do one more here. Tesla, not much happening here. Be careful with that. I'm going to go back and look at the spiders here. Spiders, in a rough spot. Okay? Be careful with that. Be very careful. If this starts to take out Friday's highs, that would be a plus. That would be a plus. QLD, this is pretty rough too. What's this need to do? At least take out Friday's highs with a good volume pickup. Overall, be cautious here. Opportunities, at this point in time, there's not a lot, but there will be, I guarantee it. You mark those words.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.